The Chef Ann Foundation's Hero Highlights, Stories from the Field, is presented by Danone North America. My name is Misa. I'm the Strategic Integrations Coordinator here at the Chef Ann Foundation. Today, I will be interviewing Erin Smith, Director of Nutrition Services at Seattle Public Schools. Erin, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I'm just going to dive right in. So, we know that Washington State was the first to get hit hard by the coronavirus. How did you react when you realized that this growing threat could impact your district and your feeding program?
Well, we knew that it was just going to be a matter of time before it made it to the city of Seattle. It actually started out in the northern suburb area. So we had a plan in place for limited closure while we was preparing, if the entire city shut down, what are we going to do? We're going to have enough resources. The staffing is going to be a double. So we just started off small, thinking about one or two or maybe 10 sites to be prepared for like 10 sites shut down. And when it happened, I think it was on a Wednesday, we notified that 2 schools were going to close. And then the next day, we was like, okay, fine, we're ready for it. And then Thursday, the next day, they decided to shut down the entire district. So it just took a little bit of tweaking, but because we already had a plan in place for a small scale, we just amplified it to try to cover the entire district within those 48 hours.
Wow, it is just so crazy how quickly things have been changing, and to see how you've reacted so quickly is incredible. We should provide some background information for our listeners. Can you tell us about your district enrollment numbers?
District enrollment is 56,000 students.
And of that number, what percentage are free and reduced?
Percentage is around 30%.
Awesome, thanks. Now, can you explain how you structured your emergency feeding program?
So it's been a growing process. So we originally started with 26 meal sites throughout the city, and that's when we first started for the first week. Since then, we have added 35 bus routes that goes around the entire city. We're working on direct delivery for shelters. Right now, we're providing meals directly to like 10 shelters. There's a total of 37 shelters in the city. That's our end goal. And we're in talks with Amazon for home delivery because we have about 3,000 students with disabilities who's unable to make it to our meal distribution sites. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, overall coverage will be our 26 meal sites, 35 bus routes, home delivery to 3,000 students, as well as providing meals through shelters throughout the city.
Wow, Erin, that is incredible reach. Now, I'm curious, how do you think your talks with Amazon are going to impact your current program?
Well, so Amazon is kind of the experts on home delivery.
Right.
And so we have, limited resources with our drivers, and a lot of our trucks can't make it down residential streets. So we've just been in talks on how can we package meals for delivery once a week. It's the same box for every student, where they will make the delivery right to the student's doorstep.
Wow, that's super innovative. I'm interested about procurement. Have any of your deliveries changed or been adjusted, or have you had to adjust because of the pandemic?
We're still receiving deliveries as expected, and it might be going a little bit smoother now than during the school year. And part of the reason is that we're working with less of a variety of items. We have about six different meals we're offering right now. So we haven't had any issues in receiving food from our distributor. They've been very helpful. They've been giving us substitutions. But so far, everything is going smooth.
Wow, that's really great to hear. I understand you may not be able to serve the same types of meals as before, but how do the meals you're serving now differ from your typical program?
So again, this has been something that we've been growing. So we started off with just the cold, sun butter sandwich, turkey, roast beef sandwich, um, and now we're offering a variety of chef salads, hummus, bagel meals, and we just now start implementing like take and bake options.
Mm-hmm.
So items that families can take home, put in the oven, and either for a hot meal. And hopefully next week we will start adding dinner as well.
Wow, that's awesome. So you're going to package multiple meals up. How many meals are you packing per distribution?
So right now our central kitchen is um, producing about 13,000 meals a day. Um, we are serving around 6,000 breakfast and lunch. And on the weekends, and then on the weekends, of course, we have a little bit extra. But like I said, hopefully starting Monday, we will also be incorporating dinners in our meals
Great, and that's an everyday delivery you're doing.
every day.
Wow,
Yes.
that's impressive.
We thought about switching to maybe 2 days a week or 1 day program, but just it's such a big city. If a family is not able to make it to the site for that day, then they will possibly be suffering for the rest of that week. So we're gonna continue to do it every day for as long as we can.
Wow, that is awesome to hear and incredibly fortunate that you're able to facilitate that with your staff. And on that note, how are they handling this?
Surprisingly, 90% of our staff has chosen to continue to work during this time, and that is one of the main reasons why we've been able to have so many different distribution sites and plans. Um, and actually, we're kind of growing. Um, we just hired about another 60 substitutes. There's a lot of people in the city who's lost their jobs. Restaurants is closed, and fortunately, we've been able to add a couple of jobs for people to help us feed students.
That is incredible. And are you hearing anything from them? Like, what does this work mean to them?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. I mean, it really brought our staff together. It really put it's terrible times, but it really put a warm, helpful feeling like to the city from the things that we're doing. A lot of parents have reached out and just to say thank you. We have kids dropping off pictures and cards. It's been an amazing experience, and I've never thought that being in school nutrition, we will be considered a hero or a first responder. So it's been a eye-opening experience.
Wow, that is so amazing to hear. And so good that the students are able to really feel the impact you all are having on their lives. And my next question is, how are you planning for the instance that one of your staff members could get sick? Is that a consideration for you?
Our number one priority is making sure our staff is protected and stay healthy during this time. And, we're providing them with all the PPE gear that they need. We work closely with the um, Office of Public Health to make sure we're in security while making sure social distancing, everything possible to make sure they're protected. So it's on one hand it's amazing because I know people are nervous and they're scared even if they don't speak up about it.
Mm-hmm.
But just to overcome that fear and still go out there every day um, is, I mean, words can express the gratitude. And one thing that we need to make sure that we do is make sure that we protect them because they're the brave ones on the front line every day for kids.
Right, and can you just explain what are the protocols you are using to decrease that likelihood?
So employees are provided with masks, um, gloves. There's and security is enforcing social distancing. Um, we have been making changes according to the Office of Public Health that we're laying items out on the table where the customers coming in picking up themselves to limit contact,
Mm-hmm.
so the staff member isn't directly handed it to a person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, every night we sanitize every single building, station, location that we're serving food out of every night before the staff comes back in.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Now, looking to the future, are there any actions you would recommend fellow food service directors take to ensure they have a plan in place in the event of a national emergency similar to this?
This is such a unique situation. It's hard, it's something that you really can't fully be prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only advice I can give is just make sure that your staff knows that, you appreciate everything that they do. Um, and it's that's a tough question for me.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a tough question for me to answer.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Honestly, I'm not sure there is a easy way to answer that question. Is there anything you would have done differently?
I don't think there's anything I would have done differently. Maybe start planning a little bit sooner.
Right.
Um, but I think because we slowly implemented things, it gave us an opportunity to build on top of what we're doing
Mm-hmm.
versus trying to rush and have everything on the table at first and then have to take away because of lack of resources.
That's totally
So
understandable. Yeah.
um, when we first started, I think the first couple of days we only did like 900 students, but we've been adding almost 1,000 students a week
Wow.
by building up the program and taking our time and just trusting the process instead of rushing.
Now, how do you think that the students that you weren't capturing before are hearing about the program and are getting engaged?
I think a part of it is word of mouth, um, and as time went on, um, things got harder for families. Um, More people,
Right.
lost their jobs, so I think the need increased,
Right.
and um, I think just the overall um, media communications that we're here to help and support made it easier for students to want to come and pick up a meal.
Right. Have you had to do any special marketing?
No, the only thing we've done, our communication team put stuff out on the district website.
Nice.
Um, Seattle media news, I think, did a great job on just getting the word out and letting families know what's available. A lot of bloggers came by, so I think it's nothing that we did, but just the media and the type of city Seattle is, they all kind of got together to make sure people knew what was available. Especially like the PTA. The PTA, I think, probably been our biggest um, advocate and promoter of what's available.
I think it's really a testament to the community that you're surrounded with.
Definitely. Everything is everybody's just been so grateful and helpful and been wanting to donate and help out in any way that they can. Um, is most of the feedback that we're receiving.
Nice.
Um, like I said, we're trying to do our best to try to keep a variety of items rotating. I don't think anybody wants to eat the same thing every single day.
Right.
So we just continue to get feedback. I wish that we could do a better job with possibly accommodating allergens and things of that nature, but um, that's really it's really a difficult thing to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're offering a wide enough variety for that would accommodate majority of students and the people that live in Seattle. We have some things that's gluten free, some things that's soy free, um, and then just some staples that students just like to eat.
Right. Can you just describe some of the biggest challenges you've run into thus far?
Our biggest challenge has been the unknown. The unknown. When we first implemented the bus routes, it was just a unknown on how many people would show up. When we opened up the meal sites, again, it's just a big question mark on how much to produce. We want to make sure we didn't want to overproduce or have too much waste. Um, but that's been the biggest challenge. A lot of the items that we might have had too much, we did donate to food banks.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't trash it. We made donations, but the unknown. The governor would go out and say that families should have meals, and it was so much being said. We wasn't sure if the homeless shelter across the street was going to come over to the school site. So just being prepared for who might show up to these feeding sites was the biggest challenge.
Understandable. And on the other hand, your biggest success.
I think our biggest success is just our employees, the workers who decide who's stepping up and come to work every single day. Um, a lot of them, we're on spring break right now, and a lot of them are continuing to work even though it's spring break, and this time they typically will have off.
That is so great to hear, and honestly, something we've been hearing a lot. It's truly a testament to how important food service staff are to the entire operation. On that note, is there anything you'd like to get out to
Mm-hmm.
your community or staff that this audio recording might reach?
Um, I just say just thank you for trusting us um, to support you, to be able to provide you with meals and help you and um, help out in any way that we could. I mean, our cafeteria staff really treat and think of the students in their building as their own kids, and they are going out here every day to feed them because they treat these kids as their own family. And for the community to support us and thank us and to reach out and um, show so much love and support to those lunch ladies and lunch men is inspiring and grateful, and just want to say thank you.
Well, I hope we can amplify those things and share out some of this inspiration. Is there anything I haven't asked that you'd like to share with us before we wrap up today?
Um, you know, going forward, I'm hoping that um, the way everybody is coming together right now and showing support that carried on for a long time, and um, we can help remove that stigma or perception of school lunch and school food and actually become more part of the school and the system. Um, we do our best during the school year to provide, some creative, um, delicious options for students, and we're trying to do the same thing during this time to try to provide them with a variety of things to help support families. And I hope that the support we're receiving right now and the recognition we're getting for what we're accomplishing will continue, and we can grow on top of this and be a better support system for the city.
Aaron, that is our hope as well, and we are so thankful to have gotten the opportunity to get your program out there and have people understand all the hard work you're putting in there, because you're truly going above and beyond to meet the needs of your community, and it's showing.
Okay, thank you.
And this concludes the Hero Highlight feature for this week. We are so thankful to have been able to interview Aaron Smith, Director of Nutrition Services at Seattle Public Schools. If you found any of this interview useful for your programs, or you're just feeling as inspired as we are, please share on whatever social media platform you are using. We would love to help amplify the great work happening across the country, keeping our children fed. If you would like to nominate a hero to be featured, please reach out to Misa at chefannfoundation.org. That's MESSA at chefannfoundation.org. The Chef Ann Foundation carries out our vision by ensuring that school food professionals have the resources, funding, and support they need to provide fresh, healthy, and delicious cooked-from-scratch meals that support the health of children and our planet. Danone North America believes our world is ripe for a change in the way we eat, drink, connect, and do business. It is our job to find new, more sustainable ways of working better to serve this expectation and help reconnect people with the food they eat, nourish lives, and build a healthier world through food.